Hi, third graders. This is Mrs. Oyster, and today we are going to focus on learning about parallelograms. Our first lesson in geometry was identifying and describing the attributes of polygons. Then yesterday, we focused on quadrilaterals and the different types of quadrilaterals and how we can describe them using geometric vocabulary. And today we're going to focus on a specific type of quadrilateral called a parallelogram. So our targets are going to be to identify parallelograms. If you see one, can you tell that that's what it is? And then to describe the attributes of parallelograms. So let's get started. Let's start by reviewing some of that geometric vocabulary we've been talking about. Polygon, that means a closed shape with 3 or more straight sides and 3 or more angles. A side is any line segment used to form a polygon. So down here on our example, what I'm tracing here with my mouse, these are sides. The angles are formed when 2 sides meet, so they're the inside of a corner. And what I'd like to do is just highlight for you what the angles are. They are right here on the inside part of the corner, okay? Then we also have the corners, which are the points where the 2 sides meet. Sometimes it might be called a vertex. The plural form is vertices. And then the term that I want you to be familiar with is opposite sides. So opposite sides are sides that are across from one another. So these two are opposite sides. These two are opposite sides. Okay? All right, so now that you know that vocabulary, let's talk about quadrilaterals. So what is a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is a 4-sided polygon. So it's a polygon, a shape with straight sides, closed shape with straight sides, and in particular, it has 4 sides. So these are all examples of quadrilaterals. They all have 4 sides. We learned yesterday that we can actually categorize quadrilaterals into some special groups. We have squares, which have 2 pairs of parallel sides. 4 sides are all the same length, and it has 4 right angles. Remember, a right angle is an angle that forms a perfect square corner. A rectangle is a quadrilateral that has also 2 pairs of parallel sides. Opposite sides are of equal length, and there are also 4 right angles. Notice the opposite sides are equal length, but all 4 sides do not have to be equal length in order to be a rectangle. A rhombus is a parallelogram with 2 pairs of parallel sides. It also has 4 sides that are all equal length, but notice that a rhombus does not have to have 4 right angles. And then the fourth type we learned about was a trapezoid. And a trapezoid has 4 sides, but it only has 1 pair of parallel sides. So this one down here, the top and the bottom are parallel, which means they will never, ever, ever cross. But these 2 sides are not parallel. So there's only 1 pair of parallel sides. Now, if you look at these 4 types of quadrilaterals, 3 of them are called parallelograms. So a rhombus, a rectangle, and a square are all considered to be parallelograms. A parallelogram is a 4-sided shape that has 2 pairs of parallel sides. So a square is a parallelogram. A rectangle is a parallelogram. A rhombus is a parallelogram because all 3 of those have 2 pairs of parallel sides. However, a trapezoid is not a parallelogram because it only has 1 pair of parallel sides. So, what are parallelograms? You've just learned that parallelograms as a category can include squares, rectangles, and rhombuses. Parallelograms are quadrilaterals. They have to have 4 sides. Opposite sides are parallel, or another way of saying that is there are 2 pairs of parallel sides, and the opposite sides are also equal. All 4 sides don't have to be equal, but the opposite sides must be equal. So here are a bunch of examples of parallelograms. Even though these shapes are all a little bit different, they are all quadrilaterals. All of them have 2 pairs of parallel sides. And all of them have opposite sides that are equal. So let's look at a couple of them. Let me grab a little color here. Let's do green. So if you look at this shape here, this side is parallel to this side. If you were to continue those sides on and on and on, they would stay the same distance apart. This side is also parallel to this side. If you continue these two on and on, they will also stay the same distance apart. You may also notice that the length of this side and this side are the same, and the length of this side and this side are also the same. So this is a parallelogram. Now this one here is also a parallelogram, even though you probably looked at it and said, well, it's a square. It is a square, but it's also a parallelogram. Let's see why. This side is parallel to this side. If you continue them on and on, they will never cross. They're the same distance apart. This side is parallel to this side. Okay, they will, my highlight is not is not parallel, but the sides themselves are parallel. Also, the opposite sides are equal. This side is the same length as this side, and this side is the same length as this side. And in fact, all four sides are equal, but the opposite sides are equal as well. All right, so what is a parallelogram? What is not a parallelogram? Parallelograms are four-sided shapes that have two pairs of parallel sides. You might get tired of hearing me say that. We're going to drill that into our brains. And parallel means always the same distance apart. So on this column right here, we have three examples of parallelograms. On this column over here, you have three examples of shapes that are not parallelograms. So let's talk about why not. Well, this one, A and C, those sides are parallel, but D and B are not. So it is not a parallelogram because it only has one pair of parallel sides. Same with this one here. This side is parallel and this side is parallel, but these two are not. So it only has one pair of parallel sides. Now, how about this one? Let me grab my highlighter real quick. Let me see if I can trick you. So this side is parallel to this side. And this side is parallel to this side. And this side is parallel to this side. This one actually has three pairs of parallel sides. So, is this a parallelogram? Nope, it is not, because this shape has six sides. Parallelograms have to have four sides. So, take a look at this. Is this, let me scoot it up a little bit, is this shape a parallelogram? Pause for a moment and answer that question in your mind. Is it a parallelogram, and why or why not? The answer is yes, it is a parallelogram. It has four sides, and it has two pairs of parallel sides. The top and bottom are parallel, and the two sides are parallel, and the opposite sides are the same length. Okay, so let's do some sorting together. If you would like to pause, you may, and I know you can't move the shapes yourself, but you can, in your mind, put the shapes in the category they go in, parallelogram or not a parallelogram. Okay, let's try it together. What do you think about this one? Yes, that is a parallelogram. It has two pairs of parallel sides. How about this one? Nope, not a parallelogram, and actually that one has five sides, so it's not even a quadrilateral. How about the L? Not a parallelogram. This one does have pairs of parallel sides. The top and the bottom are parallel, the sides are parallel, but it has six sides, not four. How about the yellow one? Yes, that is a parallelogram. The triangle? Nope, that only has three sides, so it's not even a quadrilateral. The trapezoid? Nope, it only has one pair of parallel sides. The square? Yes, a square is a parallelogram. And how about this hexagon? Nope, it has six sides, not four. Nice work. So let's play a little game. This is called a secret sort. I have some shapes up here, and then I have some shapes in the box. And what I did is I took the shapes and I put them in the box according to a secret rule. Like it could have been they're all blue or they are all sparkly. I don't know. Something about them is the same, which of course those aren't it because all of these are black and white. Um, but if you had to guess, what do you think my rule was? Why did I choose this one, and this one to go in this box? Now, if you've been paying attention, I bet you can figure it out. The rule is that those are parallelograms. All three of these have two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, so Let's look at our shapes up here. Do you see any more that could fit in this box? I'll give you a hint. There are two more. Yep, it is this one. Oops, I can't move it, I guess. Oh, yeah, I can. There we go. This one and this one are also parallelograms. So those could also follow my secret rule and go in the box. Okay, let's review. We're almost to the end. Here are the four types of quadrilaterals we've really been focusing on. Rectangles, four-sided shapes that have four right angles and two pairs of parallel sides. Squares, four-sided shapes that have four right angles and four equal side lengths. Rhombus, four-sided shapes with equal side lengths. And trapezoid, four-sided shape with only one set of parallel sides. Three of those four shapes are parallelograms. Which three do you think they are? The answer is rectangles, squares, and a rhombus. These three types of shapes are all parallelograms because they all three have two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, so here's your assignment today. It's in your packet on page 6, but your teacher may also have put it in Google Classroom, so just read their directions and see what they would like you to do. After watching this video, you are going to look at 6 shapes and decide if they are parallelograms. And then you'll check yes or no. And then you're going to explain why it is a parallelogram or why it is not a parallelogram. So the first one has been done for you, which means you really only have 5 to do. This shape is not a parallelogram. Why not? The shape is not a parallelogram because it only has one pair of parallel sides. Parallelograms are shapes with two pairs of parallel sides. So let's look at number 2 together. Is that a parallelogram? I hope you said yes, it is a parallelogram. And why is it a parallelogram? Well, I would type or write. The shape is a parallelogram because it has two pairs of parallel sides. So you're going to complete 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your own and then submit it to your teacher. All right, thanks for listening, third graders. See you next time.